In this episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about fictional cannibalism being A-OK, Anthropophagi YAY, Twilight rage, Mini Cooper trunk science, and how it's not a good idea to defrost the bacteria in the permafrost, open the sarcophagus, lick the black ooze, or read from the Book of the Dead in our discussion of This Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham. Wah, wah. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult, and sometimes other books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to discuss This Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham.
Standard disclaimer. I'm so glad that you have it because I don't.
I've just realised I have this book. It's there. Hold on.
It's fantastic. I don't have it.
I was messing around with next week's book, to be fair. So
it's fine. It's fine.
You started a disclaimer on when
I was about to say, Emma, did I say the standard disclaimer already?
No, just in your head.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's where everything is. If you haven't read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read or listened and don't want to be spoiled, stop listening to us and go read or listen to the book. Then come back. If you haven't done this but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up.
Yay!
Okay. I would like to share with everyone why I stuttered just then, because we have these scripts that we've been working from, since episode whatever, the dawn of time. And it's always the same, right? Well, this time, for whatever reason, it says, if you have done this. And I don't need to read this to know how to say it, because obviously I say it every single time for almost 300 episodes. However, when my eyes saw it, they went, what is have known?
I have known.
If you have known done this, but want to pretend that you have known. Let's just fix that so I don't do it again. Okay, there we go. That's fine.
I have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea what is happening right now. Anywho, it's fine. It's fine. Hi.
Oh,
hey, how's it going?
I was being attacked by mini me. But we've solved that problem by wedging.
Good. Yeah. That sounds
appropriate.
Yes.
That wedging is just for the Patreons to say.
It's great. It's really great.
Anywho, let's get back to it. Do we have any background info?
We do. I took background info from two different places. One was from Kayla's website, where I learned that they worked as a teen librarian for 4 years, and then my heart exploded with joy because I am a teen librarian still on the inside, and it made me really happy to see that they are also a teen librarian on the inside.
You're an everything librarian now.
I know, but still, on the inside, always teen. They're always my favorites. But then I read another thing on Publishers Weekly, and they ask, why was cannibalism the best vehicle for telling this story? Was it always...
Why not cannibalism, I asked.
Like, really? Why not cannibalism? So they say, the idea behind focusing on characters who are ghouls or who have to eat other people to survive comes from the fact that cannibalism feels like the ultimate social taboo in our society. One of the things I really wanted to highlight in this book was the way that people who are considered to be outsiders or the other by society are put into these categories. That just by living your life, you're seen as a monster by other people. Ghouls are very much a thinly veiled metaphor for queer people and trans people, and also, to some degree, BIPOC folks who have to deal with so much shit. By making characters who are literally non-human, I felt that that was a good vehicle to discuss those issues. And that was my main way that I was like, oh, cannibalism. Perfect. Yes.
I mean, I still say why not cannibalism, but yeah.
Yeah. not cannibalism. It's fine. Everything is fine.
It's all good unless you're actually doing it in real life.
Yeah, fictional cannibalism. I feel like we've had this discussion too many times. It has to be fictional. Fictional murder. Yes. Fictional cannibalism. Yes.
Fictional cannibalism is A-okay.
It really is. Just don't do it in real life, okay?
Okay. You telling me personally?
Yes.
We have a house rule. There is a literal house rule.
That's right.
You can ask my child, and he will tell you the house rules. Don't wear socks in bed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't kill your parents, because that's a
Yes.
villain origin story.
Yes.
No cannibalism.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, those are really good rules to live by.
Yeah.
And you seem to have turned out okay, I guess.
I'm alive still.
I know.
I've survived thus far, so I'm good. We're all good.
We're all good. Did you have any initial thoughts about this book?
I will cover the words in the discussion.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All noises, only words.
Yeah, sure. I remember being shown this one when it first came in at the library. The teen librarian bought it and she was like, Amanda, look at this book. And, you can tell people know how weird and ridiculous I am, that they're like, oh, this book has, monsters eating people. Amanda will love it. Yay!
Yay! I saw this in Forbidden Planet in Newcastle. I was like, this looks fun, and this looks like something we're definitely going to be covering on the podcast. So I bought it. Didn't even check with you first. Just
Fine.
bought it.
We just
knew
know.
It was going to happen.
We just know.
We just know.
Shall we dig in?
Go. Dive.
Ooh.
Put your hand in the cooler and see what comes out. Yeah.
Zoey and her friends, Celeste, a social media influencer, Jasmine, a softball player, and Valeria, a former cheerleader, are on their way to a music festival in the desert. It's their first road trip. Woo! Woo! They've got plenty of drinks and snacks in a cooler in the back of Zoe's Mini Cooper, and as they get on the road, Zoe cracks into the snacks and pulls out a sin flesh heart.
That's good eats.
Synthetic human flesh was created to help quell the hollowing, a pandemic that started a couple of years ago thanks to melting permafrost. Lots of people started feeling sick, and some got better, but others, like Zoe, Celeste, Val, and Jasmine, for example, did not get better. Instead, they became ghouls.
Ooh.
Whenever they got hungry, they grew long teeth and sharp claws and devoured humans like zombies. They're fine now, thanks to the sin flesh, though they still ghoul out when they eat. They have to check in with Patricia, their representative from the Emergency Hollow Preparedness Association, whenever they eat, but that's not so bad. And anyway, they're about to have so much fun at the music festival. Oh my god.
Yay, an outdoor music festival.
I've been to some, and they're not bad.
I've been outside.
Yeah.
I came back home. The girls get to the hotel and order some takeout synth flesh from a nearby restaurant and send photos to Patricia. Val eats hers down in the car because she doesn't like to ghoul out in front of her friends. After eating, they split some vodka they snuck with them and go to the pool. Not long after they jump in, a group of guys show up and Val freaks when she realises that they are her favourite band. No flash photography. The lead singer, Eli, immediately flirts with Val, while one of the other boys, Cole, tries to flirt with Zoe. Too bad she's basically in love with her BFF Celeste. But Cole, he's pretty cute too. The other guys, Raj and Caden, plus everyone else, get into the hot tub where things heat up. I mean, it's a hot tub, it's going to heat up.
It has to. That's
By
literally
definition.
its job.
Exactly. By definition, it's going to be hot. Eli starts trash-talking ghouls, which makes Zoe so mad that she almost ghouls out and eats him. But she goes back to the room instead. I mean, I'm not going to say I wasn't,
Ugh, she should have done
for
it.
that.
She should have just done it. I mean, that would have
been a very short book.
I was about to say, it would have essentially ended the book, but...
I like short stories.
Same. I would have been fine with that. Back in time, when the hollowing started, Valeria's family thought they were above catching it. They boarded themselves in their house and got plenty of groceries to help them survive for weeks. That didn't matter, though. Val's abuela got sick, and so did Val, but she tried to hide it, and maybe she succeeded. It's easy to go unnoticed when you have loud, unruly brothers and a sick grandma.
At the hotel, all 4 girls are crammed into one bed, even though they have 2, and even though Zoey desperately does, but also does not want to share with Celeste. They're squished so close together to each other, and Zoey wants to gently brush the pink hair away from Celeste's face, but she can't. If only Celeste hadn't given Zoey such a good kiss when they played Spin the Bottle at the graduation party they went to a few weeks ago, she probably wouldn't be crushing so hard now. Now, that's all Zoey can think about. Smoochy, smoochy. It's not that she's afraid her friends will think she's weird for having a crush on a girl. Everyone knows she's bi already. It's that Celeste is her best friend, and they've been best friends since before Celeste started transitioning. Being in a relationship could totally ruin everything. Zoey decides to go out to the pool where she runs into Cole. He apologises for everyone being shitty about girls earlier, especially since he realised she was one as she left. They exchange numbers and plan to meet up at the music festival.
At the camp where Celeste and Zoey were during the hollowing, they were quarantined in a cabin, just the 2 of them, because while everyone else started to feel better, they started to feel worse. They tried to split an Oreo, hoping they would be able to keep it down, but as Celeste started to bite into her piece of cookie, a giant, sharp fang pierced her tongue, then more teeth, sharp like glass, filled her mouth, and swallowing her own blood made her stomach growl. Ah!
The next morning, the girls pile into the Mini and drive the extra few hours to the festival. On the road, they plan out their schedule, which includes seeing bands made up of sad indie girls or sad indie girls.
Sounds like an outdoor music festival.
It does. I'm like, where's the sad indie girl stage? I'm just going to go to that one, please. Thank you. You'll just find me parked in a beach chair there. But Val lets them know that Eli has invited them to a private party that night and definitely won't be checking their IDs. Zoey agrees to go and tell them all about swapping numbers with Cole the night before. Celeste agrees to go too because it could be a great opportunity to network. But how much more networking do you need to do, girl? Come on, take some time off. You were already able to secure not only 1, but 4 festival tickets, plus a cabin to stay in, which is super nice, especially compared to the tents that all the other festival goers have to stay in. Celeste chooses the room with a king-size bed to share with Zoey, insert Zoey swooning here, while Val and Jasmine get to share the other room with the twin beds. Celeste is worried about Zoey, thinking she's worried about going out, but nah, it's just the huge freaking crush freaking her out.
Jasmine was in L.A. with her brother and grandmother when the hollowing first started. Green-tinged clouds rolled over the city. Then people started to get violent. Jasmine and her brother watched a video clip shared online of a ghoul attacking someone, which was terrifying. Just as the clip ended, their grandmother coughed up black bile.
The girls dance at the first show, but Celeste is a little worried she's going to ghoul out. She already gets enough shit on social media for being trans, and she's worried that moms won't want their daughters learning how to contour from a nightmare creature if anyone found out she's a ghoul.
I would be okay with that.
I would be fine with that. I think I'd probably actually like it more.
Same. Zoey
convinces her to dance because if she was going to turn into a ghoul and attack someone, she probably would have done it by now. After the show, they almost get sin flesh from a vendor that cooks it like normal food. But again, if anyone found out about Celeste, it would be bad. As they head back to the cabin, Zoey thinks she smells ghoul bile. They find a nod on bone that maybe belongs to an animal and bile nearby. But surely there's no ghoul hiding out somewhere in the desert trying to eat animals to survive.
Surely not.
No, that would never happen.
It's definitely what's happening right now, everyone. Parents, caregivers, and teachers of hollowed children, make sure you have tasers, pepper spray, and stun batons on hand to keep your children in line. They can live perfectly normal lives if you feed them well, but better tase them just in case. I feel like I need to add
Bing, bing, bing.
silly, horribly silly commercial music to the background of that segment, and I probably will.
Note to self. The girls have Sinflesh liver for dinner, then go to the No Flash photography show, which is way too whiny for Zoe's taste. About an hour after the show is the after party, so the girls go back to the cabin to put on lots of makeup and cute outfits. There are a ton of people at the party, and while Val goes to Eli, Celeste goes to schmooze with other influencers, and Zoe goes with her. Soon, though, Cole spots her and they start chatting, but unfortunately Jasmine rushes up to tell her friends that Val needs their help. She ran off into the desert looking hungry. When the girls find Val, they realise she's eating Caden of No Flash Photography. And then Celeste, Zoe and Jasmine join in. Uh-oh!
Celeste and Zoe ran through the woods for days after ghouling out and eating a camp counselor. They came upon a cabin and thought they were safe, but then someone arrived. They attacked, but then the man shot Celeste and told Zoe to control herself if she wanted to get back to her family. He said he had a satellite phone. She tried to control herself, for a few seconds anyway, and then she bit the guy in the neck. Wah wah again.
Sucks to be that guy. The girls wake up in a cave having devoured Caden, which is not good. Hi, Patricia. Hi. Oops.
Hi, oopsies.
It shouldn't have happened. Val shouldn't have ghouled out because they all ate their Sinflesh dinner just before going out the night before. Sinflesh is supposed to keep the ghoul at bay, so Zoe deduces that something happened to make Val go feral, and they have to figure out what that something is. First, though, they have to hide what's left of Caden, and they find a mine shaft to toss him in. Celeste messages Patricia that they're going to watch the sunrise, so they will lose cell service, which would cause an alert in the Emergency Hollow Preparedness Association, but now this should be covered.
Celeste woke up not long after being shot, her wound completely healed. She found the hunter dead and eaten, and Zoe curled in a ball nearby. They searched the hunter for his phone and called Celeste's mom. Wendy, being maybe the best mom in all of YA book history, called a rescue team to find her daughter and her friend. Celeste was taken to a nearby hospital, while Zoe was sent to a treatment facility. The nurse brought Celeste some meat and said a doctor would be in shortly to explain.
After dumping Caden's body, the girls go back to the place where Val was partying with Eli before ghouling out. They walk through the night, and she remembers that Eli gave her a drink called a groupie, and finding the ingredient list, see that it's like a fancy margarita with a sparkling lava salt rim. They all jump behind the bar when a cleaning crew shows up, and while they're back there hiding, they see a container labelled 4 groupies, with what looks like edible glitter inside. Val sniffs it and immediately ghouls out. Whatever it is, something vaguely minty, that's not good for ghouls. The girls drag her away and feed her Sinflesh before she eats anyone else.
Jasmine and her brother Isaiah left their grandmother's apartment after she turned into a ghoul, but the city was on lockdown. They found a new construction building and snuck in, thinking they were alone and would be safe. They were wrong. A drunken white supremacist couple had already found the place and had no problem shooting kids whether they were ghouls or not. Luckily, or unluckily, Jasmine was a ghoul because she ate them both to keep her brother safe.
Oh, that's nice.
She's a good sister.
Yeah. Back at the cabin, the girls do some research and find out about a drug being tested at a facility that's only a few miles away from the grounds of the music festival. The drug, called menthexus, is derived from spearmint and is supposed to act like an appetite suppressant for those affected by the Halloween. Unfortunately, the research facility burned down after a whistleblower announced that the facility was doing unethical human testing. They decide to split up and investigate. Zoe and Celeste will go to the burned down facility, while Jasmine and Val will try to find out who the bartender was the night before and how they got the menthexus.
Oh, I don't have to go back in time. I get to read a present segment.
Welcome to now.
I'm so excited. After a nap in which Zoey dreams of her shitty parents being shitty and keeping her locked in a juvenile ghoul facility, she wakes and chats with Jasmine about their kill counts. Val had never killed anyone before, while Zoey admits she killed the hunter who shot Celeste, and Jasmine talks about the racist couple. Their ghouls are not who they are, though, and they're surviving now. Jasmine is about to go to Yale, to become a doctor even. They have each other's backs and will be fine.
Zoey decides to go for a walk and runs into Cole. She learned from Jasmine that Val talked with Eli and no one seems to be concerned about Caden's whereabouts yet. So talking to Cole should be fine. She explains Val's sudden disappearance from the night before was due to violently getting her period, which she expected to gross Cole out. But he had an older sister, so it's fine. Cole explains that he lost his sister during the Halloween and that she was how he got into the band with Eli because they were dating. Zoey and Cole really seem to connect and they almost kiss, but then they both look away at the same time. Because she wants Celeste, not Cole.
Later, Zoey and Celeste head to the testing facility, leaving their phones behind to trick Patricia. They dig through burned-out rubble and find a flash drive in a filing cabinet, so they keep it in hopes of it containing useful information and or porn. As they're searching, they have an awkward, "Are you mad at me?" conversation, but then they hear a rustling and snarling and freak out. But whatever it is leaves them alone. Probably it was a giant coyote.
Pointed look to camera.
As they drive away from the facility, they see a nightmarish figure in their path. It's 7 feet tall, wearing tattered clothes, and has hollow eyes and long, gangly limbs and giant claws. It gives a keening wail as they speed past it and drive back to the festival.
That's not a coyote. Ooh, I gotta go back in time now.
Oh, yay, okay.
There have been several incident reports of disappearances and kidnappings and strange people outside of windows at festivals and blood found in bathrooms. If reports continue, PR should be notified.
Jasmine and Val are still out, so it's just Celeste and Zoey in the cabin for a while. Zoey notices that Celeste has a cut on her shoulder and gives her first aid, which requires Celeste to take her shirt off. Zoey is clearly crushing hard, and when Celeste offers her a drink, she almost can't handle it. They're so flirty with each other, and it seems like they're about to kiss. But then
kiss.
Jasmine and Val get back. Damn it.
Boo!
They encountered a different bartender than the one that served Val the Menthexus, but learned that they could find him at a show the next morning. So they planned to talk to him. But now they need to sleep.
2 weeks into the Halloween, Val went for a walk around her neighbourhood. The streets used to be full of teenagers hanging out, but now they're empty. She searched all around and then smelled something delicious, coppery and sweet. She found a recently deceased body in a culvert and started eating it. But then another girl showed up, the star quarterback that Val cheered for at every game. He decided that Val couldn't know what he was, even though she's clearly a girl too. So he tried to strangle her to death. She grabbed a broken bottle and killed him.
Womp womp.
Womp womp, so sad, too bad.
Zoey and Celeste snuggle up, but a short while later, Zoey realizes she got her period. It might have been violently, but it's hard to say. So she goes to the bathroom. On the way, she sees Val ghouled out and snarfing sinflesh in the kitchen. Val quickly disappears back into her bedroom, and Zoey notices the trash can lid isn't closed all the way. She reaches to push it closed, but it's overflowing with sinflesh containers. Way too many for them to have eaten yet. That can't be good. The next morning, Zoey wants to show Celeste, but first they look at the flash drive that they found. It's about experimental creatures called Anthropophagi, and Amanda freaks out so much with excitement. Excuse me. It's about experimental creatures called Anthropophagi, which means human eaters, and they recognize one of them as the nightmarish figure from the facility. The notes say the ghoul turned into the Anthropophagus just 4 days after Menthexus exposure. Uh-oh, Val's been exposed twice. Speaking of, they go to check the trash can, but it's empty. Then Jasmine comes out of the room she's sharing with Val to say that she's missing.
After 3 months in the juvenile ghoul facility, Zoe's dad finally picked her up. They didn't really talk on the way home, and when they got there, Zoe's mom awkwardly avoided her. When she went to her room, she noticed there was a lock on the outside of the door. She immediately called Celeste and asked her and Wendy to come pick her up.
Zoe, Celeste, and Jasmine head out in search of Val, and they discuss what they've learned about the Anthropophagi and all the sin-flesh trash. They're all worried that Val has turned and is eating everyone, but by tracking her phone, they find that she's just snuggled up with Eli. Val and Eli are pissed that they all showed up, but they're worried, obviously. Soon, they're joined by Cole and Raj. The girls make their exit, mentioning the show that they're going to, but not that they're going to interrogate the bartender, and the boys want to tag along. Cole thinks someone should stay behind in case Caden shows up, but Eli brushes him off.
The show is dreadful, but the bartender/lead singer is obviously in love with Celeste and even makes up a song for her on the spot. Ew. Ew.
Mm-mm.
It's awkward and full of whispering and kazoos. Possibly the least romantic musical instrument. But soon enough, it's over, thankfully. The girls ask the bartender, Tony, about the groupie drink, and he flips out, worried what they're going to rat him out, because he was high on mushrooms while serving. Dude, that's not responsible. He could get into a lot of trouble if anyone found out. He tells them about a person in a pink band hoodie who was behind the bar before he got there. Celeste knows the hoodie and the band, Girlfool, because they are her favourites. And they're playing a VIP show later that night. Maybe, if they can get in, they'll find out who was wearing the pink hoodie and why they had the Menthexus.
Months after the hollowing, Jasmine was at a party with her softball teammates. Some of them suggested that Jasmine have a few drinks, and even though she had researched and knew it was a bad idea, she started drinking. Not long after, Val, Zoe, and Celeste showed up, which made one of her teammates question why super popular Val was hanging out with the art freaks, and then she dead-named Celeste, which made Jasmine mad. Making things worse, Jasmine spotted a freshman on her team being sleazed on by a senior. She went to the girls' rescue and accidentally ghouled out on the guy. Well, great. The ghoul's out of the bag now. Jasmine left the party but met up with Val, who may or may not have started flirting with her.
That night, the girls get ready, hoping that Celeste can gain VIP access to the Girlfool show using her influencer status. Jasmine shares a video she found online featuring an Anthropophagus digging through trash cans outside one of the cabins at the festival. Clearly, Val wasn't the only one who was drugged. Speaking of, Val comes out of her room after getting ready, and they all notice that her makeup is super thick, and so are her blunt-cut fingernails. They realise she's turning into an Anthropophagus, but she swears she's fine. Plus, Eli's band got VIP tickets to the Girlfool show, and they're all going now.
At the show, Zoe is squished between Cole and Celeste, making her freak out with super double crush. Celeste sees Zoe's blush and gets up to investigate, hoping to find the pink hoodie person. Cole takes this opportunity to ask if Zoe and Celeste are dating, and she says no. Celeste is just her best friend. They start dancing, and then they kiss. But just as Zoe realizes Cole is, surprise, also a ghoul, Celeste finds them and starts crying. Uh-oh. Jasmine arrives in and shakes her head at Zoe. Celeste runs off and Zoe follows, but soon she hears Celeste screaming. She catches up and sees Celeste standing in front of the body of an Anthropophagus.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That night, Cole sent a bunch of texts to Zoey begging her not to say anything about him being a ghoul, but her phone was dead, and she didn't see them until the next morning. Meanwhile, the festival goes into full lockdown mode and guards shut the roads down. Everyone is told to shelter in place. The girls go back to the cabin and Val suggests that they lock her in her room for her own protection. Jasmine sleeps on the couch, and while Zoey and Celeste go to their room, it's awkward. And Zoey asks what's wrong, but Celeste says nothing. Though, hello, obviously everyone knows Celeste has a crush on Zoey too. Zoey does the lame, if I did anything to upset you, I'm sorry apology, and the girls go to sleep. Oh my god, just kiss.
Oh my god. The next morning, Zoey scrolls the internet and sees ominous tweets about the Anthropophagus from the night before, but they keep getting deleted, and then the internet stops working. She tries to show Celeste and Jasmine, but none of them have service. Then they all realize that Val is being really quiet and should have gotten out of bed by now. They go into her room and see that she left through the window. The girls decide to break quarantine to try to find Val and realize she might have gone to see Eli again. Zoey goes to the boys' cabin and spots Cole, wearing the pink Girl Fool hoodie. She confronts him about drugging everyone with Menthexis, and he says she doesn't understand. This is his way of redeeming himself. And then he throws a handful of glittering Menthexis powder in her face.
Asshole.
Oh!
When Cole was a kid, his family was great, but then his dad died and his mum remarried. The guy she married, Hank, was a religious zealot, and he made his new wife become that way too. Ugh. Cole spent a lot of time with his sister, who just started dating Eli. Cole didn't like that much, but he loved his sister. Then the Halloween happened. Hank started working with the government, and things got worse at home, especially when Cole stopped eating. He finally did eat again, but it wasn't food. It was his sister, while she was FaceTiming with Eli.
Womp womp!
Womp womp!
This episode might have the most womp woms.
I think it may.
Zoey wakes up back in the cabin, not remembering how she got there. Celeste filled her in on what she missed. After Cole drugged her, Zoey took off running. Jasmine tried to stop her, but couldn't, and she ended up running to where Celeste was distracting some guards so they could sneak to the cabin where the boys were staying. One of the guards shot Zoey in the shoulder, so she bit his arm off. Then they got put under house arrest back in their cabin. On the plus side, Celeste and Zoey now have matching bullet wound scars. Oh my god, twinsies!
Oh.
Also on the plus side, since Zoe's about to turn into an anthropophagus, she and Celeste are finally truthful with each other, and they reveal that they are in love, and they kiss. Aww. Now they've got to figure out a way to stop the anthropophagy.
That's not a real word.
It's not a real word.
Yet. Cole, Eli and Raj are in discussion about the satellite phones Cole's stepdad had in the testing facility and have plans to go there and escape. As they get ready to leave, Eli shatters a vial of Menthexis in Cole's face, telling him he'd never do that to his friend, but he would definitely do it to the ghoul who killed his girlfriend. And now Cole can look like the monster he really is. Everybody is an asshole!
Meanwhile, at the girls' cabin, they're playing board games when all of a sudden there are gunshots outside. As they rush to look out to see what's going on, Cole arrives at their cabin. He tells them that his stepdad, Hank, who was once a terrible person who invented Menthexis, became the whistleblower who stopped the testing at the facility, but unfortunately, he had a heart attack shortly afterward. He left all his notes and some samples behind with him, and with them, Cole, Eli, Caden, and Raj decided they would cause a scene at the festival in order to get ghouls moved into their own societies apart from regular humans. Well, it seems to be backfiring terribly, especially since Cole has been dosed with Menthexis as well. Luckily, he knows that Hank also created an antidote, and it's in his office in the basement at the lab at the testing facility. They all climb into the Mini Cooper and head off.
When they finally arrive, Cole tells them that they can't get inside unless they have a key card and that Eli took his, but he can cut the power. They all decide this is a great idea despite the fact that cutting the power will also open all the cells containing the Anthropophagi, and they'll be set free. Maybe they'll be lucky, and the free Anthropophagi will eat Eli.
Fingers crossed.
He is hoping. As they sneak through the facility, they gather stun batons to keep safe, but they hear the keening wails of Anthropophagi. Then they find Raj being attacked. They manage to save him, and he tells them that Eli is planning on burning the facility down, starting with Hank's office, where the antidote is, so no one will ever be cured.
What's wrong with this guy? He's the worst.
Oh, he's a dicky bastard.
They make it down to the basement and find Hank's office. Unfortunately, there are several Anthropophagi down there, including Val, and Eli is there too. The Anthropophagi attack, and Zoey gets hurt, but they keep them at bay with the tasers, even though tasing their friend isn't fun. They manage to get to the refrigerator in the office and find the antidote and inject Zoey and Val with it. They also find an emergency exit, but as they're starting to leave, Eli shows up. And though he's been attacked and hopefully will die soon, he sets the room on fire. Luckily, the girls, plus Cole, make it out alive, even though Celeste has to carry an injured Zoey.
Oh, that's so romantic. When they get back to the festival grounds, they are stopped by guards and questioned on pretty much everyone, seeing as how the CDC and FBI have been called in. Even though they all tell the same story and provide an antidote, it takes Cole's version of the story to get anyone to believe their bloody patriarchy.
Ugh.
The girls are able to go back to their cabin, but Cole has to stay in custody since his friends were part of the Anthropophagus plan, and now they are missing. Cole decides that he's going to do what's right because he doesn't think his sister would have wanted him to turn all the ghouls into giant uncontrollable human devouring monsters. Should have thought about that at the beginning, mate.
The girls get freshened up and plan to leave, but the road out is backed up with all the people trying to leave the grounds. As they wait for traffic to clear up, they ride on a Ferris wheel, and Jasmine tells Val that while she was ghouled out, Celeste and Zoey became a couple. They take a selfie together at the top of the Ferris wheel and shout, "Ghoul friends!" It's an oddly perfect ending to their summer road trip.
Girlfriends.
Girlfriend.
Girlfriends. Hey, girlfriend.
Girlfriend. Hey, girlfriend.
Oh my god. You've got some, heart between your teeth.
Oh my god.
Right, well, I think we'll go and, turn into feral ghouls for a little while.
Oh, that sounds really great.
For about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. Please remember that Fictional Hangover is a free podcast and always will be. If you'd like to support the show, become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover, then come back. Your support will help us bring you more spoiler-filled discussions and ridiculous content you know and love. Now, back to the episode. I really enjoyed that they're all just living their lives, but they turn into ghoul monsters when they eat.
I mean, to be fair, that is relatable because who doesn't turn into a ghoul monster when they eat? Especially if it's something delicious like grilled cheese or cake. It's like, try and steal some cheese off my plate.
I also really love when they turn into Anthropophagi. I remember the first time reading this book, and obviously everyone knows. If you don't know, you need to go back and listen. We talked about the Monstrumologist hundreds of episodes ago, and that's one of my favorite books of all time, and the monster in that book is an Anthropophagus, and it's a very frightening version of the monster. It does not have a head. It has eyeballs in its shoulders, and it has a mouth in its belly, and I love it more than anything. So when I was reading this one and, Anthropophagus showed up, I was like, oh my god, it's another Anthropophagus.
It's my people.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. And I felt really silly about it, but you know what? It's not very often that you see one of your favorite monsters, especially that one, show up in literature. So
no, you should be very pleased.
I was very pleased. I love it so much. There's one thing though that I didn't really love. I didn't feel it was necessary and I almost wanted to cut it out of the summary. All of the jaunts back in time, I don't feel like those really added anything important to the story. Almost just like it just added to the word count, which the background, those stories were interesting, but I don't think they were necessary.
No, I think it was interesting to find out that, you know, how much of a great parent Wendy is.
Right.
And how absolute jerks Zoe's parents are.
Yes.
And that felt important to know about them and their characters. But yeah, there was a lot, it was very much like side stories, and it didn't really bring anything to the overall story of going to a festival, somebody's drugged them, they're turning feral, they need to rescue the world.
Yeah. I almost think that those were added in after the story was complete, because when I was doing background info research, I read that when Kayla Cottingham first started working on this story, they had just written it as a serial killer at a music festival, and then it was the time of, you know, our global pandemic, and everyone was going into lockdown, and so they thought, okay, yeah, let's just add that in. And so the story...
Which is actually a fairly easy change up, really, from a serial killer to, you know, ghouls.
Yeah. But so it makes me think maybe the original story was pretty much completed by the time they decided to make that change, and so then they just went back and added in some stuff that happened in the background.
Potentially. I think that's kind of leads into my main point is I love the concept. Like, I love the overall concept of it, but the execution just didn't quite do it for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just... The band, like, Cole and Eli and Caden, like, you know, when Caden got eaten, I was like, don't care.
Yeah, no. I don't think anyone cared. I don't even think his bandmates cared.
No, I think if anything, people were cheering for when, you know, no flash photography got murdered.
Yeah.
Hunted, put into jail. And I don't know, I think like even like the Cole, which actually, you know what, this is part of my surprise. My surprise is Cole.
Yeah.
The entire character of Cole. Like, he feels guilty for eating his sister.
Sure.
And he thought genocide would be the viable option for absolution.
You know, most of the time when people think genocide, they don't think that it's a good idea. I mean, obviously the person doing the genocide is like, yes, this is brilliant. Everything will be great and I will be, you know, the ruler of the world or whatever. But generally, not...
genocide is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm going to do it because I feel guilty for eating my sister, even though I couldn't control it because of a disease.
Yeah.
And I'm now going to murder all the ghouls, effectively.
Yeah.
And my sister would fully support me in that. But then very, very strongly changes his tune to like, oh no, she probably wouldn't want me to do that.
Yeah, she probs wouldn't like that. And also, like, there's laws and stuff now, or rulings and things are like, well, you know, if you ghouled out and ate someone, we know it's not your fault. So, it's fine.
I just, the entire character of Cole, I mean, why Zoe even had an inkling, the smallest twinge of a crush on him, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not an 18-year-old girl.
It's true.
But I don't know. I think it was just it felt like a very tenuous reason there.
Yeah.
And obviously Cole's stepdad is going to have to be involved in the facility. You need that link to the facility. And
Right.
It's fine. Those happy coincidences are all, I expect them. You need them in the fiction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There was something about it. I think maybe the flashbacks were part of the execution, in that it took me out of the main story. Which stopped me from enjoying it quite so much.
Yeah.
Like, it felt a bit stop-start.
Yeah.
But I did love the girls going feral.
Yes.
Loved the Anthropophagi.
Yes.
That was exciting to have those.
Yes.
I like the fact that so many people got eaten.
Yes.
Patricia is clearly terrible at her job.
Very bad. Very bad at her job.
And I'm sorry, you're going to follow people's mobile phones? Really? I'm just going to leave my mobile phone at home and then go do bad things.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not the most sensible of plans.
Speaking of things that are nonsensible, there is something that I really did not approve of in this book, because it doesn't make any sense at all. I myself drive a Mini Cooper, and I do not believe a body would fit in the trunk.
For science, you need to climb in the trunk.
I mean, I kind of want to, because I'm not, I'm not very tall, I'm not very wide, and I imagine a 20-something-ish band guy would probably be larger than I am.
I think it's safe to say up to 6 foot.
Yeah, I just don't see it happening. And I almost felt the Twilight rage at this with the driving and the time that it took to drive to Seattle and back. Because, I mean, like, Mini Cooper, fantastic. They even described the lights in the front of the car, the glowing lights, which is one of my favorite features of my Mini Cooper. But I just don't think that you could fit a body in the back.
Well, I honestly think you need to perform some science.
Yeah. And, like, I even have a slightly bigger Mini Cooper. And my very first one was just a 2-door. So the back seat was very small, and now I have a 4-door, and, so the back seat is bigger. And they cram a lot of people in. I think there's at least 5 people in the car at one point, which is squish. And putting a body in the trunk, or even having the cooler in the back and being able to reach for it, bothers me.
There's a lot of different designs, though, of Mini Coopers, because I know my brother's had several Minis.
But it says Mini Cooper. It doesn't say John Cooper Works. It doesn't say Clubman. It doesn't say, like, any of these other things. It says Mini Cooper, and Mini Cooper is one kind of Mini Cooper.
That's true. And it's not as if it's like an original Mini Cooper as well. If it was an original Mini Cooper, I'd be like, no!
No.
You won't get a cooler in that
No. So, I would just like to say, I felt rage at the Mini Cooper.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Twilight rage and Mini Cooper science, I think, is fair.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I love the Twilight rage is now a thing, because, like, if you're not going to put proper distances in time, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Mm-mm.
I did like, speaking of relating to other vampire series,
Yes.
It was very True Blood in the synth meat.
Yes.
Except synth blood. I like that.
Yeah.
Helping ghouls integrate into society with synthetic food. We obviously, in True Blood, the vampires have been around for centuries.
Yes.
But also, I think the biggest thing that this book teaches me is freaking leave the permafrost alone.
Yeah.
How often do we see news notifications that's saying bacteria found in the Antarctic going to be defrosted? Leave it.
Stop it. Stop messing with it.
Or a sarcophagus has been found. Leave it closed.
Stop it. Do not open the sarcophagus. Do not unfreeze the bacteria.
Yes, do not lick the black ooze.
Stop it.
Do not open the Book of the Dead.
You must not
When are
read
people
from the book.
going to learn?
They're not. They're not ever going to learn.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Do you have a favorite character? Should we move on? Should we move on to that? There's probably a million more things that I want to say, because I actually quite liked this book. Wait, before we move on to favorite character, Sophie Amos recorded this audiobook, right?
I did not realise Sophie Amos had recorded this book, even while I was listening to it.
I read this one when it came out, or I listened to it when it came out, and I was like, oh, yay, Sophie Amos, she's our friend. She's a friend of the show. Oh, my God. And then when I started writing the summary for this one, I just, like, read the ebook on my phone. Because I'd already read it once, and, you know, I know the story, so I was just working from the ebook. And then I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and pick up listening to the audiobook again, because I actually had time to, like, listen to a chunk of it. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's Sophie Amos.
When I pressed play and it said This Delicious Death, narrated by Sophie Amos, I was like, is it? Huh. And it didn't sound like her.
She was like, how many different characters was she in this one? She did such a good job.
She did an amazing job. She did a fantastic job. She is a very chameleon with her voice. She can do wonders with it. And, you know, she has range. But yeah, I was like, I didn't realise. I was very happy to see that though, because I do enjoy a narration.
I'm kind of sad that I forgot that she was the narrator of this one until it was way too late to, like, reach out and ask her to come on, because I bet she would have. She's been on the show before. Surely she'd come back.
Oh, it's been ages as well. She's on for Wilder Girls.
No, not Wilder Girls. My Calamity Jane.
My Calamity Jane, that's right. Who did you speak to for the Wilder Girls?
Jessie Valinsky.
Jessie, yes.
Yeah.
We love Jessie Valinsky as well.
But we did talk about Sophie Amos with Two Can Keep a Secret, because she did that episode. I mean, she did that episode. She recorded that book.
Yes.
Anyway.
That was a good book.
Yeah. Anyway. So, favorite character. Is that are we back there? Is that real now?
Yes. I'll tell you who it isn't. Freaking Cole.
Jerk. Any of the boy band boys. Gross. Sons of bitches.
I'm going to call them what the latest insult is in my house, including from my child.
Okay.
Who came up with it.
Okay.
He's a right dicky bastard.
Oh, dicky bastard. Yeah, I like that.
Dicky bastard.
That's very good. I think Celeste was my favorite character.
I 100% agree. I adored Celeste. I want to watch Celeste's videos and learn how to contour from Celeste.
Same. And her hair is hot pink, which is precious. I wonder if she matches her eyebrows to her hair.
I like to think she's got mood eyebrows.
Glitter eyebrows?
They will change colour. They will change shape.
Okay.
Just like 2 seconds, I just need to put my angry eyebrows on.
Yeah.
And say, I can feel the feral coming out. I'm just going to put my feral eyebrows on.
Yeah. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But she was definitely the best. She was...
Yeah, I liked her. I didn't mind Zoey either.
Yeah. So, one of my favorite things about this book is how, like, sarcastic and ridiculous everyone is. There are some really fantastic one-liners in this book, and, like, the friends, they're a very good friend group, and they all click together, and I don't know, I liked it. There were some good quotes in this one.
It was nice to have a good, solid, foursome friend group who would literally hide dead bodies for each other.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell you're a best friend.
Yes, definitely. We'll shove a body inexplicably into the trunk of your Mini Cooper and go dump it. But they also all ate them together, which, you know, I mean, it's sometimes you don't like to eat in front of your friends. Sometimes that makes you feel awkward, but
who cannibalize with other friends are friends for life.
yeah. Yeah.
Fictionally speaking.
Sure, yes. Please don't actually eat people.
Fictional cannibalism, like fictional murder, is okay.
Yeah.
Not real.
No.
PSA. Do we I shouldn't have to do a PSA about cannibalism and murder again.
No. But you never know. I mean, there are warnings on plastic bags saying, you know, don't put this on your head and breathe in real deep. So do not
when you get, like,
eat this food
this item
wrapper.
of clothing is flammable. No.
Yeah. It's sad, really. But I think the same people that would eat a food wrapper or not know that clothing is flammable might also be the same people who, you know, melt the permafrost. So
jerks. Jerks. Anywho, is it time?
I didn't talk about my surprise, even though I did, and I talked about it and I raged about it for a little bit. But just to say it out loud. Yes, to acknowledge that it is a surprise. I am surprised that we can fit a body into the back of a Mini Cooper.
And you will be performing the signs of that, please.
I think I might. I kind of like maybe this is a time where I dust off the book character cosplay, and maybe I become a ghoul, not an anthropophagus because they get very long and large. A ghoul is just a regular sized person. Maybe I become a ghoul and I get into the trunk of my own car.
Yes.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before you get dumped down a mine shaft.
Please do not drop me down a mine shaft.
I will endeavour not to drop you down a mine shaft this week.
Next week, fine.
Next week, fine.
This
week,
no.
Out of bounds. Know your limits.
Yes.
I'm setting a boundary.
Yeah. Okay, you already mentioned your surprise, so I guess it is time that we can move on.
Pew, 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 pew. Oh, best not do that. We might get, a warning on TikTok. It's Would You Rather. Oh no! You've been affected by the Halloween, and you're a ghoul who craves human flesh. Synthetic flesh hasn't been invented yet, so you've got to eat someone to survive. Would you rather eat a camp counselor or a hunter? And overwhelmingly, unsurprisingly, 75% on Facebook and with 60% on Instagram, it was a hunter.
Now, I would just like to add that on TikTok, it was 83% camp counselor and 17% hunter. However, our video was taken down from TikTok because the hunter in the tiny, tiny photograph was holding a gun. So we are now like semi-banned on TikTok because
I'm so annoyed. It's Bert from freaking Tremors. Bert from freaking Tremors.
On a question about literally eating people.
Yes. But it was Bert.
It's ridiculous.
Sigh. Anywho, we've got some comments.
Yeah, okay.
Because, Facebook doesn't care about it.
No. That was my argument, too. I opposed the warning, and the options to do that were like, I shared this video on other social medias, and it was fine. So that's the one that I picked. There was not one with, are you fucking kidding me? That was not
fucking kidding me? The question's about cannibalism, and this is Bert from Tremors.
Yeah.
I need to watch Tremors. Anywho.
I'm sorry. I'm just still mad about it. It's still bothering me.
You know when I feel sarcastically mad about it?
It's just so stupid.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Colin on Facebook said, got to be the hunter because fuck those guys. A camp counsellor is just a person hopefully doing their best to make some safe and wholesome memories for kids. A hunter is just a douchebag with a gun.
Warning! Alert.
Warning! Warning! We said the G word. You can drop the C bomb, but you can't say the G word.
Constance on Facebook said, I feel like a camp counselor would take better care of their skin over a hunter. And who knows, maybe the hunter would use something to make them not taste good.
I'm getting the impression that Constance is like, chicken skin if she's eating wings. Bree on Facebook said, I would rather eat a hunter because of the delicious irony.
That is hilarious.
It's one of my favourite comments.
Fantastic comment. Katrina on Facebook says, aw, I'm thinking a camp counselor would be really nice, so I couldn't eat them. I would feel too bad. Hunter, though, they're fair game. Another excellent comment.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Fair game.
I am going to go for the hunter as well. With supermassive black hole going on in the background.
Sure.
And me doing the whole like Twilight style.
Yeah,
hunting
of course.
them down.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Because we've always got to link it back to Twilight.
Yeah, always. And we've only done it once in this episode so far. I think... I don't know. I don't know who I'm going to eat mostly because I don't really want to eat either of them.
Well, you've turned into a feral ghoul. You have to eat the meat.
I know.
Eat the meat. Eat the meat. Eat the meat.
I think I'm going to go with a hunter, mostly just for vengeance.
Yes.
Because he shot Celeste, and that is not okay.
No, that is unacceptable.
Yeah.
You dicky bastard.
Yeah. Revenge eating.
Yes.
Revenge cannibalism.
And like Bree says, the delicious irony.
Yeah, it's so good.
Womp womp.
Next question. Being a ghoul isn't all that bad. You're basically unstoppable and get a super awesome unhingeable jaw and flesh-shredding claws. Which would you rather have? Also, please try to say flesh-shredding claws.
Super awesome unhingeable jaw and flesh-shredding claws. Nah, it's horrible.
It's hard. I tried to say fresh-shredding. Fresh-shredding.
Like my tongue literally wanted to leave my face.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for flesh-shredding claws.
Why?
Because I have a feeling that my jaw would just unhinge at really inopportune moments. It's like, oh no.
No.
And I just feel like flesh shredding claws would be a lot funner. Like, especially if you go outside in social situations, you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. So you can like use them to actually, get out. Wolverine style.
Sure.
X-23 style.
Yeah.
Though, just standing there and unhinging my jaw would freak people out enough. That'd be cool. But no, I'm going to go for the claws.
I'm going to go with the super awesome unhingeable jaw. Like, I have a really small mouth to begin with, and I just think one of my favorite, like, looks in horror, obviously, is a mouth full of scary fucking teeth. So I think that I would like to have an unhingeable jaw just so I could fit more scary teeth into my mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. The more teeth, the better.
Yeah, obviously.
Sharp, pointy teeth.
Obviously.
Would you rather ghoul out on a dumb jock, a racist asshole, or a so boring you struggle to remember his name boy band douche?
I mean, I think obviously in this situation, the racist asshole is the one who needs to go first.
Yes.
So that's who I'm going to pick. Although I bet they would taste terrible. I know this kind, this harkens back to our first question of eating the camp counselor or the hunter, and some people thought that the hunter would probably not taste very good. And I feel like the racist asshole would probably taste worse than a hunter, but they
can I propose a
need...
change then? Can I propose a change?
Sure.
You know how, fuck, marry, kill?
Yes.
Except...
No.
It's not that.
Not like this.
It's kill, eat, throw down a mine shaft.
Okay, well then I'll kill the racist asshole, ghoul out, eat the dumb jock, and throw the so boring you struggle to remember his name boyband douche down a mine shaft, because that's what happened in the book.
Yes. I quite like that as well. I don't want to eat the racist asshole because he's not. He is negative nutritional value.
Yeah,
I do worry that the dumb jocks, been taking steroids.
Yeah, maybe, but he's in high school, so
okay.
I feel like it's less likely.
He's probably the most nutritional out of the lot.
Yeah.
So eat him, and whoever that guy is, throw down the mine shaft. Because it's funny to say, this is Sparta, kick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who you are, kick.
It's perfect. Okay. Would you rather... Oh, it's again, it's going back to this same question with the way you changed it. Kind of. But not. Would you rather date a social media influencer or someone in a band? And I would like to please say ignore the actual characters, because obviously Celeste is the best and Eli is the worst. So just their career choices. Social media influencer or someone in a band.
Social media influencer kind of pisses me off.
Yeah.
I don't... I mean, rightly or wrongly, it doesn't feel like a job.
No.
And I know some of them put a lot of hard work into it. They don't have teams of people behind them. They literally have a phone and a stand and a halo light. And they're doing a lot of the work themselves. But I also see a lot of, you see the videos of do this, do that, do the other. This is how you make it look nicer. And you kind of think, well, social media influencers are portraying a lie. Yeah. That's not the lifestyle they're living. That isn't the right light that they're using. They're editing absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And you kind of well, I just, no, I can't be dealing with that.
Same.
I can't be dealing with the can I have this free thing for clicks.
I don't like it.
Mentality. And I know it's not everyone. I feel like I'm making very sweeping statements, but it feels like that is the stereotype, unfortunately.
Yeah.
However, someone in a band, that's pretty cool. I would... If I was dating somebody in the band, I would help and support them to do that, if that's what they chose to do.
Yeah.
And you never know, one day they might hit the big time. As long as I don't have to go to the festival and sleep in a tent, I'm fine.
What if they wrote a song about you that was full of whispers and kazoos?
I mean, that's the most romantic thing ever.
Gross. Oh, I agree with you. I'm choosing dating someone in a band over a social media influencer. Mostly just I don't feel like Celeste is this way, which is why there is the caveat of ignoring the actual characters, because obviously Celeste is the best and Eli is the worst. But I feel like social media influencers are very fake.
Yes.
And that really, really bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't like that fakeness, at all. I don't even have words. It makes me angry. So I'm gonna go with someone in a band.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I think there's a talent there as well.
Yes. And yet, putting on makeup and, you know, whatever you're doing to be a social media influencer there is some talent involved in that as well, but it's just so fake.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's a giant scale because, you know, there's some artistry involved in that as well. Like some of the cosplay social media people I've seen, phenomenal. Absolutely
Yes.
phenomenal. That's artistic, and I don't necessarily put them down as the influencer kind of thing. It's more that they're using it as a showcase for the talent.
Yeah.
It's the ones who are like giving their opinions on social matters and they're ill-informed, or they're the ones that just like sit there and they'll grab something and just start tapping it and like, look, I've just got this face cream, and it's like, you've been given it and you're being paid to promote it, and actually all you're doing is slathering llama poo on your face with no science behind it.
I really hate the trend on some social medias where, like, because I follow a lot of cosplayers and a lot of makeup stuff because that is interesting to me, but there's this horrible trend of people slathering so much makeup on their face while they're lip syncing something, and that just makes me want to curl up and vomit, because like that you're doing all this stupid stuff and then you cut your video, so obviously everything that you're doing is fake, and then you cut to a video where you're wearing beautiful makeup. Like, no. Stop it. And no one wants to see you lip sync.
I understand if there are drag artists doing that, because lip syncing is...
But it's not.
Is part of the drag art.
But it's not.
No, it's not. No, I get what you mean.
And it's like every time they whip their face around and it's something else, and it's just so stupid. Just stop it. I hate it.
I like
also,
the one,
I'm elderly, and I am yelling, get off my lawn! But oh my god.
I like the one, and I think you actually did one for Harry Potter, where they had makeup brushes.
Yes.
For makeup brush. And they kind of dropped down the makeup brush.
Yes, I did that one all by myself.
And I really enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed those ones where they're kind of like sitting there and then they'll just go whoop and their face just changes. That's clever editing.
Yes.
And there's none of this lip syncing. Yeah, I get it. But this is how elderly I am. I can't stop watching lawn... Or, you know, where the lawn cutting grass kind of edging videos where it's uncontrollable, like it's abandoned houses and the guys just go around and they'll cut the lawn for free and they'll put the edges in, and you suddenly have a path where there was no path, and I go, ooh, that's a lovely clean edge, and I realise I need to go and sign myself into the retirement home.
Yeah.
But there's something very satisfying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realise how sad and pathetic I am because I realise I am elderly. But yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, I'm going to stop dumping on social media influencers, but if you can stop being so fake, that would be great.
Right? Oh my god. Do we have another question?
Yeah.
Or did we just talk for way too long on that one? And
no, I think we need to do one more. We should probably shut up, but okay. Would you rather conceal your anthropophagus with really thick makeup, which you put on whilst lip syncing to a terrible boy band song, or trim your nails short and wear black polish, but it's also, you know, you've got to put those fake ones on with the big things and big jewels and and make them really
not social media fingernails.
Yeah, they've got to be social media fingernails where they're just not practical at all.
No.
You are not wiping your own tush. You cannot type on a keyboard.
No.
You can't, you can't even dress yourself because it's just crap.
Oh, okay.
All over.
Okay.
So which one are you doing?
No, it's terrible. Oh, I hate it because now I'm thinking
I'll answer straight away because I know which one I would do, and it's
What?
going to be the social media makeup concealing
Yeah.
the anthropophagusness, because the idea of the nails just freaks me out.
I know, I hate it. Yeah, I'm going to pick that too. But then I was just thinking about how much, 3 minutes ago I was raging about people making stupid videos where they're putting too much makeup on their face. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that too.
Remember, Amanda, we're the Lords and Masters of All We Survey, and that means we can change the questions before we read them out.
Yes. Oh. Oh. Oh.
I'm grossed out by both of them, really.
Yeah.
But I guess we're like, I'll get the thing, and I'll just be like,
just tap on it.
Lip sync, lip sync, lip sync, lip sync, lip sync.
No. Okay. It's fine.
My God, I feel dirty.
Okay, favorite final thought quote.
Oh, okay. Zoey, we just ate him. Have a little respect. Friends don't let friends get possessed by the ghosts of unethical human testing victims. Only eat fair trade. And I'm going to give you one more. That sounds like an awfully convenient way to get us to go to the spooky basement full of cannibal monsters. Probably didn't say that how the book requests, but go for it. What have you got?
Okay. I've got a few, but mine are a little bit longer and include entire conversations. He looks like he spends all day chain smoking outside of a 7-Eleven while he's waiting to buy minors booze. I argued. He's like if Pete Davidson had absolutely no sex appeal. Jasmine agreed. Or if a Four Loko had a magic spell cast on it to turn it into a real boy. Oh, it's so funny. Briefly, I wondered how long it would take me to bleed out if I jammed the hotel-branded pen on the bedside table into my femoral artery, which was then followed by "fuck me."
Which in and of itself is a good quote.
So good. And then finally, he'd been almost completely stripped of flesh. All that was left of him was the entrails, a bit of his face, and his feet inside his boots, which, when I read that, made me scream, "What of the foot boot, Will Henry? Snap to Will Henry!"
Oh, one of the greatest things to ever be said.
Snap
to Will Henry!
To Will Henry! Oh, and you remember how grossed out
I don't know about you,
is
is in my everyday lexicon.
Yes, of course. Of course. But do you remember that episode in the foot boot?
Viscerally. I still smell it.
Oh. Foot boot.
Foot boot.
Gross.
Foot boot. Oh.
So good. So good. Okay.
That's brilliant. Oh.
I'm gonna make a request here that I get to go first this time with "If you liked this, try this."
No, I agree. Go for it.
Because normally I do not prefer to share a book we've already discussed, but I have been talking about this book throughout the entire episode, and how often do you see an anthropophagus in a book outside of Othello and this one and The Monstrumologist? That's all there is. That's it. So I'm going to share The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey. Please see episode 107.
Whoa!
So long ago.
Whoa! For context, this is episode 290.
Yes. These are the secrets I have kept. This is the trust I never betrayed. But he is dead now and has been for more than 40 years. The one who gave me his trust, the one for whom I kept these secrets, the one who saved me, and the one who cursed me. So starts the diary of Will Henry. orphaned assistant to Dr. Pellinor Warthrop, a man with a most unusual speciality, monstromology, the study of monsters. In his time with the doctor, Will has met many a mysterious late-night visitor and seen things he never imagined were real. But when a grave robber comes calling in the middle of the night with a gruesome find, he brings him their most deadly case yet. A gothic tour de force that explores the darkest heart of man and monster and asks the question, when does man become the very thing he hunts? Anthropophagus, snap to, Will Henry!
I am also going to recommend something that we have covered.
Was it
on episode 198?
Okay, that one's fresher. That one is slightly more fresh.
Slightly fresher. The boot is still stinky. It is a little bit sticky, but there's less ooze. Do not lick the ooze.
Oh, no, stop it. Do not.
It's Eat Your Heart Out by Kelly DeVos.
Oh, such a good book.
Which is a brilliant book. And I couldn't help but compare it to this one. It is different, though.
Yes, zombies, not anthropophagi.
Zombies, not anthropophagi. And it's the summary from Goodreads. In the next few hours, one of three things will happen. 1, we'll be rescued. Unlikely. 2, we'll freeze to death. Maybe. 3, we'll be eaten by thin and athletic zombies. Odds excellent. Vivian Ellenshaw is fat, but she knows she doesn't need to lose weight, so she's none too happy to find herself forced into a weight loss camp's van with her ex-best friend Ali, a meathead jock who can barely drive, and the camp's owner's snobby son. And when they arrive at Camp Featherlight at the start of the worst blizzard in the history of Flagstaff, Arizona, it's clear that something isn't right. V barely has a chance to meet the other members of her pod, all who seem unhappy to be a Featherlight as she does, when a camper goes missing down by the lake. Then she spots something horrifying outside the window. Something that isn't human. Plus, the camp's supposed miracle cure for obesity just seems fishy. And V and her fellow campers know they don't need to be cured of anything. Even worse, it's not long before Camp Featherlight's luxurious bungalows are totally overrun by zombies. What starts out as a mission to unravel the camp's secrets turns into a desperate fight for survival, and not all Featherlight campers will make it out alive.
Ugh.
There's cannibalism! Yay! And a secret laboratory!
Yay!
Feral monsters!
Yay!
And a big fire!
Yay!
So yeah, go and check that out. Go and check out our discussion, because we had lots of fun with both the Monstromologist and Eat Your Heart Out. So
We really did. Yeah.
Do we have Anthropophagi and or cannibalism in a New England Spotlight?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we just got this in an email just a few days ago.
Okay.
And this book doesn't come out until September of 2024, so we've got several months to wait here. So there's not a lot of information about it.
Several months to wait for information and answers.
There's no cover. There's not a summary. So this is the only information that I received in the email. Desert Echoes by Abdi Nazemians. Engaging love story, atmospheric and intriguing. Themes: lost love, new love, and the mysteries of the desert. 15-year-old Cam is head over heels for Ash, the boy who swept him off his feet. But his family and best friend Bodhi are worried. Something seems off about Ash. He also has a habit of disappearing, at times for days. When Ash asks Cam to join him on a trip to Joshua Tree, the two of them walk off into the sunset. But only Cam returns.
Oh, that sounds intriguing.
So, it does have a very #tenuous link in that we are in the desert. Obviously, LGBTQ plus characters.
Yes.
And
there's a road trip.
There's a road trip, and not everyone makes it back.
Ooh.
But we don't know how or why that happens, and hopefully, I mean, we can fingers crossed hope for an anthropophagus. Or cannibalism.
There will always be a hope for anthropophagus. Always.
So I'm curious to see what more comes out about this book in between now in April and September when it comes out.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's it for this episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Caw. Look out for our Would You Rather polls and monthly challenges on social media. Don't forget about our book club on Discord. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all your favorite Fictional Hangover-themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok and YouTube at Fictional Hangover. And find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fictionalhangover. If you like this episode, check out our others and be sure to rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for our music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.